Everybody, we are back. It is Taped on Live's favoriteest podcast, favoriteest channel, favoriteest everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the March on NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt. And of course, it's pandasups.com. 35% off using the TDL discount code. All right. So a lot of news happened. Today's breakdown, though, I'm doing Trey Tucker and Dylan Laube, and Matt is doing Amari Gainer and Woo Governor, which is my favorite name of all time.
I tweeted out clips. I tweeted out a couple clips of people, and I'm like, and I had people just replying "Woo Governor." I'm like, am I missing a joke or something?
Or just Woo
Woo Governor. No matter what, he's gonna make the preseason all-name team.
I know. Top 5 name. Great nickname for Woo Governor. All right. So of course, the main story is that Gardner Minshew was named starting quarterback on Sunday morning, really quickly. Sunday morning. The tape wasn't even fresh for me. I was putting it together and like, God damn, wow, okay, all right. So yeah, Gardner Minshew won the job. I don't know if you could say he won the job, but he got the job, right? I feel like they basically were just both falling over.
Starting quarterback.
He was named the starting quarterback, right? I feel like they were both falling over the finish line, but they decided to go to the veteran with Gardner Minshew. So, what are some of your thoughts on that, Matt?
I mean, I was kind of surprised about it, just the way both preseason games unfolded. I know a lot of people were really happy with Gardner Minshew's first game, and I get it. There were a few highlight throws. I think when we talked about it after the game, that's kind of who Gardner is, just the ebbs and flows of him. He's going to make those big highlight type plays, and then he's also going to make a lot of mind-numbing ones that are frustrating. And then Aiden O'Connell was a little more steady Eddie, and then obviously O'Connell had the pick 6 that I don't know, might have ended up being the nail in the coffin for him because, like we're talking about after the game, while O'Connell, if you stack all their throws, definitely had the better game overall because he's not the guy that's more dynamic. The mistakes seem bigger, right? Because he's not going to be able to make up for him. Whereas, if you're Gardner Minshew, maybe he can scramble around and make a few plays every now and again. But yeah, still was kind of shocking to me. I think kind of like you alluded to, like you said. Seems like neither guy really was playing well based on the reports and based on what Antonio Pierce was talking about. He even said after the game, he's like, yeah, it was not a good game for either of these guys. And unfortunately, they didn't make the decision easy for him. And he kind of just had to pick one or the other. And it definitely seems like it was not the outcome that they were hoping for, not in the sense that Gardner wins the job, just in the sense that no one really seemed to be able to pull away from each other. It seemed like the entire time, one guy plays well, that same guy the next practice or whatever plays poorly, the other guy might step up a little bit and kind of going back and forth. And it just a long back and forth battle that no one really seemed to be taking command of and really impressing it at all, which I guess at the end of the day, you just go with the guy that has more starting experience.
Yeah, and to be honest, when you watch the film, I mean, Minshew did not play well at all, really. And you kind of were like, okay, based on watching the broadcast, okay, you feel like O'Connell, outside of the interception, he got the job done. But when you go over the film and watch the game, I feel like O'Connell was just he was too conservative, right? And I feel like he was passing some stuff up that maybe he should have been more aggressive. I mean, because Jalen Guyton, I'll say this, Jalen Guyton looked really good. I'm not correct, Jalen Guyton, but he looked really damn good out there, right? And he was getting open a lot, deep. And I know one play, O'Connell just kind of went to Harrison Bryant anyways. I guess that was a read because he's just trying to get the first down. But there's another play where he could have threw it to him, but he just didn't. And he checked it down, and DJ Turner ended up getting a first down, and it looked cool on broadcast. It looked like him going to throw his reads, but he kind of just turned down a deep ball and felt like he was being safe. And then when you do all that, right, and then you throw an interception, which I'm going over Dylan Laube today, so I'm gonna kind of show that play. But you throw an interception there, yeah, it's not going to be a good look for you because you're not really pushing the ball downfield, and you're not really trying to make up for your lack of movement and scrambling ability, right? You're not making up for it. So I think that's kind of where they lean to, because maybe Minshew can maybe do a little more then maybe make up for the mistakes here and there. But I don't know. It feels weird because one, they got to get the ball to Adams, right? I mean, Adams plays a big factor into this. You just can't throw to Trey Tucker all the time. I mean, it's not going to work, right? And that's where Minshew's best plays in preseason. I mean, one was DJ Turner, probably his best throw, but the rest of his big plays are to Trey Tucker, right? And you're going to want Trey Tucker to be the post guy on those Yankees or those concepts, those West Coast play action, deep post concepts. You want it to be Trey Tucker. You're not going to want that to be Davante Adams all the time, right? So it's going to be interesting because that's where Minshew struggled and where O'Connell didn't struggle is with the short passes. So that's the dynamic that I'm interested in. Is like how do we get Davante involved with Gardner Minshew? Because to be honest, I don't know if like the quick release, get the ball out of my hand, choice routes, all that stuff is really Gardner Minshew's game. So, at this point, especially the way he plays quarterback, he thinks he's a big playmaker guy, and the media hypes him up that way. Minshew, he could, and then fans say that stuff, and they think he's a big old playmaker, right? And he thinks he is too, and that's a little bit of his game, and I don't know how much that's going to work with Davante Adams. And a lot of people are like, well, he never played with guys this never played like this guys like he never played with guys like this before. And I kind of say, I mean, he played with AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and stuff those like that. Philly, you can watch those two starts, and you can kind of see where he's at when he threw 3 picks against the Cowboys. So, it's a little bit of that dynamic with me. It's like, can he get the ball to Jacoby Myers on an easy, play? Like he missed that choice route in the game. Can you get the ball to Davante Adams on those easy throws? And he just doesn't check down at all, which bothers me a little bit. They got to stay on schedule. So O'Connell really, to me, in my opinion, kind of lost the job in that game. Because if he just hits Jalen Guyton on one of those throws, bro, I mean, we're all going like, oh my God, he's a starter. You know what I mean? So so it's a little bit on O'Connell, in my opinion. And I think he allowed Minshew, kind of gave him a chance to take it, and he just didn't want to. I felt like he was like trying not to lose the job, and then ended up throwing a bad pass. And
I mean, part of me wonders if he watched Gardner Minshew struggle and just kind of think like, okay, if I can just not make a mistake and play mistake-free football throughout this game, I might just win the job. And it's like that old saying of like playing with your butthole too tight and like afraid to make a mistake, and then he ends up making a mistake anyway. And it's funny that you say that because he even said like after the game, he's like, yeah, there were a few reads I missed. I mean, he hadn't even watched the film at that point, so very clearly he saw like what you're talking about, where like guys were open downfield and he just decided to turn it down. So that's interesting. I haven't watched the all 22 on offense yet, so that's good to know. And it's frustrating because it is kind of like, man, like you could have just done a few things here or there, you could have won this job, and you could have honestly been in my opinion, the optimal situation for the Raiders, which is to have your second-year quarterback end up winning the job and potentially be your guy of the future, and to have similar to a situation what you have in San Francisco right now with Brock Purdy, where you have a young quarterback on a cheap contract and you can build up the rest of the roster for a few years until you got to pay him. But obviously it's not how it happened, and Gardner Minshew is the starter for now, I guess we can say, for I think probably at least the first month of the season. I don't know. How long you think his leash is? I guess that'd be the next question.
I mean, that's the thing. Antonio Pierce is like, I don't know, man. We could look at the first 4 games. Like he has 4 games, right?
Yeah.
And the Chargers game, I feel like that's winnable, right? It's a winnable game for the Raiders because even though Justin Herbert's coming back, he's not gonna be able to move that much, and the Raiders pass rush is gonna get going. They're gonna have a game plan, which I'm excited about. So they're gonna be able to play defense. I hope they win that Chargers game because I think it's gonna tell us a lot about Gardner Minshew. If they go out there. Because I was very confident if Aiden O'Connell's out there, they beat the Chargers. Now, if Gardner Minshew can't go out there and beat the Chargers, then we got to start thinking, because if they lose the Chargers, then they got to go to Baltimore and play a 10 o'clock game in Baltimore, which is not easy to win there. I know Gardner Minshew did win there last year, but it was raining last year, and he didn't play very well in that game, but they still ended up winning that game. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the season starts for him. I don't know, because I feel like if they start 0-2, I think he might pull up, especially if he's not playing well, and they start 0-2. I feel like it might get pulled because that's what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't like Gardner Minshew has the job. We're like, yes, we love Gardner. We're going forward with him. We're gonna play the whole season. It's like, yeah, I mean, he's a leader, and he's just great charisma.
I mean, the whole process was the least convincing like win of all time. Like, like the whole time. Like again, AP saying like after the game, yeah, neither guy played well tonight, and you could tell he was pissed off, and then basically saying, yeah, Gardner's gonna be our starter and whatnot. The whole process. But yeah, I was checking the schedule too to see what the first month looks like. But yeah, Chargers, good pass rush that you're gonna have a good. I mean, even without Justin Herbert, you know they're gonna have a good defense and over there with Harbaugh, and then too, like you said, Ravens, good defense. Get a little bit of a break with the Panthers. I think if the wheels fall off the wagon in the Panthers game, like that could be the quick hook. And then after that, you play the Browns, another good pass rush, another good defense. So it's not exactly the easy slate to get going with the year for the Raiders this year.
Yeah, and you know the offensive line is a big question mark, right? But you know they got Colt Miller back today. That was a big thing for the Raiders. Or when this shows yesterday, they got Colt Miller back from PUP. Jackson Powers Johnson got his red jersey off, so maybe hopefully those guys can start week one. But it looks like it is going to be Cody Whitehair. So I mean it's going to be key for that offensive line to play well. I wonder who's going to win that job between Glaze and Munford, because Glaze is playing pretty well. On film, he had another pretty good game on film as well. So, and I thought the run game actually looked pretty good. I thought Madison looked all right. Zamir White had a good run. I'm doing a little Dylan Laube, kind of shows a few of his runs too. But I thought the run game looked solid and something that they can maybe lean on. But you know, it's gonna be tough because you know Minshew is just such a wild card, and he's just not gonna. That's my problem, is that when you want to get a completion, it's like, can he get it? You know,
yeah. Can he make the layups? Right. That's basically the big thing with him. We know he'll shoot the 3-pointers. I don't know if he's a Steph Curry percentage, but we know he's going to go for it, and he'll hit every a few of them every now and again. I guess he's more like the J.R. Smith, if you will. Like he'll make them, but it also makes some dumb plays that end up costing you some games too.
That's a good analogy there. Yeah, it's just the easy ones, man. Like you know, if he hit some of the easy ones, this job he would have won the job anyways. So, yeah, it's like that. So, any other observations on defense before we get into the guys who are recovering?
I mean, not too much. I will say MJ Devonshire is having a rough preseason. I think PFF, when I was looking at the numbers too, just because I was curious. He's given up like 5, been targeted 6 times, given up 5 completions, has over 100 yards allowed. The next highest on the team is Richardson at like 44. So Devonshire has had more than double anyone else on the team right now. And guy we're going to go over, Woo Governor, I think is kind of outplaying him at this stage in the game, and kind of makes me think maybe they keep Governor because Governor's really putting him at the backup nickel spot, which they can use behind Nate Hobbs. And if you look at the depth chart, I mean, I don't know what's going on with Brandon Faison, but I'm assuming once he comes back, he'll probably be one of the backup outside corners, Richardson being the other one. And then that kind of leaves it to Governor versus Devonshire. And again, if we're going off the preseason, like it's pretty clear cut with Governor, who I think's been having a pretty solid the last couple of games. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting that they put Devonshire in the slot because he just never played in the slot in college, did he? I don't think he did.
I don't know how much he did. I think he was more of an outside guy, but he has like the size profile of a slot guy because he's smaller and that stuff. And then but he has been playing more outside. He's just they're trying to make him like Amik Robertson, where like Amik Robertson at Louisiana Tech was an outside corner, tried playing him at nickel, and being a full-time nickel never worked for him. And then eventually, as Amik got like more experience, he was able to do both a little bit, but was still better on the outside and more natural on the outside. So I think that's to put it in perspective that people might understand. That's kind of the arc they're going for with Devonshire right now. And just right, I mean, he's getting beat on the outside right now. Like it's there's no way to slice it up right now. Like I said, I think the one incompletion was an inaccurate throw, so it's kind of been that. If I'm remembering correctly, it's tough sledding right now. But
yeah, all right. I mean, it's a 7th round pick. You can't get too crazy about that.
I'm not gonna kill him or anything, but yeah.
You know. All right. So you're doing Amari Gainer, who liked your tweets today. He definitely was a fan of your tweets. So he might become a fan of this show after this.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, man. Maybe he's a fan of the show. Yeah, right. And you do Woo Governor as well, correct?
Yep. Gainer, Gainer, I'll tell you right now, like it was hard to find a negative clip for him. There's like a few things where like maybe he's 235 nowadays for a linebacker is not a bad size at all, but there were like a few spots where like against outside runs he'd flow a little too hard, and if he got an offensive lineman up on him, he was struggling to sink his hips and like hold his ground a little bit. But for the most part, man, he's like physical against the run. He takes on blocks with his hands. Like he's got some pop in his hands too. We'll see one rep where he stands up an offensive lineman. And then in coverage has been the most impressive part of his game so far. I mean, got good movement skills, changes direction really well, can close, and got one of the more impressive PBUs we've seen of the preseason for sure, and that I've seen in a while from a linebacker. So yeah, some impressive stuff to I think really make a good, strong case to make this team, especially depending on how many linebackers they're going to keep. And he's contributing on special teams too, which is huge, obviously, for that position. He's outperforming. He's right now, I think PFF has him as the Raiders' highest graded defender, and I'd have a hard time arguing against that. And he's definitely their best linebacker so far. He's outplaying a guy like Luke Masterson, who he would be competing with for a roster spot. I mean, obviously different levels of competition, but Spillane, he's even out playing Spillane right now. So
Yeah.
Been fun to watch. He was fun to break down.
All right, that's nice, man. And I did Trey Tucker. I thought Trey Tucker is really showing a lot as a receiver, and I just did Dylan Laube because there wasn't really too much else really to do on offense. The offense was just so bad, and I didn't want to do DJ Glaze again. So I was like, you know what? Let me do Dylan Laube. And I thought about doing like Aid O'Connell, try to see, kind of show what was happening, but you like, oh no, he already lost. It's not really much to show. But I am showing his interception on this one. But but exactly. I thought Laube looked pretty good. I thought he didn't get the ball, but he definitely showed some good route running too. And then showed some good running, and then of course Trey Tucker he basically stole the show this past game. So, and I mean even the last 2 games he has some good games. So been playing pretty well. All right, let's get into Amari Gainer, man, because I'm interested in watch this. I want to watch some Amari Gainer. I want to watch this.
All right, you got me up there.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
All right, so we're gonna start with a couple run defense clips. This rep, you're going to see him again take on the block with his hands. Is what I'm talking about. The Raiders are going to slant their linebackers weak. If you watch, I think that's Kanai Mauga as well. Watch them moving pre-snap, and like you can see a little bit of his movement skills that helps him build some momentum into this blocker. And again, like right here at the point of contact, like this is like linebacker porn for me right now. Like just so you can see his hands, like perfect, right on the chest, lands it perfectly. Stands up that offensive lineman and ends up making the tackle like pretty much in the hole to get this stop here. I think this was first down. See it here from the end zone view. Rocking Thomas Howard's old number 53. Boom.
Mm-hmm. That's
in a
nice.
perfect position. Now I will say, like, I think if he gets once he gets a little bit older, spends some more time in the weight room and also drops his pads a little bit better on this rep, he won't give up as many yards after the contact. But again, for a rookie linebacker who's an undrafted free agent, like this is an impressive rep. Boom. Make the play. Let the cavalry come. More traditional rep here. This is, I believe, 3rd and short, if I'm correct. Memory serves me correct. But like you can see, again, same thing, like 3rd and short yardage. Aggressive, comes in, fills his gap responsibility. You see it'll back this up a little bit. You see his hands right there. Takes on the block with his hands. What that allows him to do is get off this block and now go make the play and go make the tackle here. That was a much better tackle on this one. Like you can see a little bit, see just the pad level where he makes contact, like helmet much lower this time, and ends up driving the running back backwards and keep him short of that first down. Flags helped out a little bit too, but see from the end zone, same thing. Come downhill, fill the gap, get the running back to bounce. Boom, come make the play. Let's watch this again. Boom. Physical. And get off the block. Go make the play. This one was my favorite of his against the run. This is what I like to call a grown man rep, Marcus. See this one? This is what I was talking about earlier. Like again, goal line here, similar situations last time. Come downhill. Stop the center of his tracks. We'll see from the end zone view a little bit better. But he ends up resetting the center, which is pretty damn impressive again for a linebacker,
235
especially.
pounds. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? You can see, like, he stands this dude up right here. Like, he takes it on, like, a little bit higher leverage. I mean, basically closes the gap with the offensive lineman here. And then on top of it, able to get off the block and go get involved in the tackle. Make a nice goal line stand. Moving on to a few plays in him in coverage. Let's see. This one's going to be an RPO. Comes downhill. See the speed a little bit. Nice angle here too. Obviously not a huge play, but to be able to come downhill, change directions, and then accelerate out to the sideline, go get involved in the tackle. Pretty nice play here. Basically a run. I think BD, what is he says? Screens or runs?
Yeah, screens or run.
Basically what that is. Like, you can see it. Like, you'll see that as pretty constant theme. Like, he moves pretty well, and he's always hustling. This play is probably the best example of it. Like, similar thing, play action, sinks. And I mean, that's just a pure hustle play. This is a guy that wants to make the team right here. So I want to get a job because he's going to start at the 41. Missed tackle by Chris Smith, who I actually thought had a good game except for this play. Sprints 20 yards to go catch up to this receiver and go make a touchdown saving play. You got to love that effort. I know AP, a guy like AP and the coaching staff as a whole is going to love that. Mm-hmm. So this is going to be the one completion he allowed against Minnesota. Pretty good route here, good concept. Minnesota was pretty good at this a few times in this game. They're just going to sit in the hole and zone in this cover 3 look. But again, you can see his ability to just close and ends up making a nice tackle in the open field. This is 2nd and 10. So situation here where we're all right, giving up a 4-yard completion or whatever it is, as long as we can tackle and rally. And now we're putting the offense in 3rd and 6. We'll take that every time. So again, see a little bit of the movement skills to transition and then just click and close. If that's the one completion you'll give up, we'll take that every single game. Mm-hmm. Again, see it from the end zone. Also, too, he's always kind of locked on the quarterback, and this will be a detriment a little bit to him. He's pretty good at reading the quarterback's eyes. I do think he stays locked on a little bit too much, but for the most part, he's pretty good at anticipating throws. Similar rep here. This one's going to be an inaccurate pass, but like you can see, like the same thing. Basically the same play, just a different way to get to it for the offense. Curl here versus cover 3. Cover 2. Same thing. Converge on the ball, be in a position to be able to make that play. Again, inaccurate pass helps with the completion, but at the same time, this tight end has no room to run if he does catch it.
Mm-mm. That was a bad pass. Good Lord. Anyways.
Jaron Hall had a rough game. Similar rep here. Another inaccurate pass, but again, this is 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. Mm-hmm. What's that? 1 4. Same thing. Like, had this been completed, like he's already breaking on it. Good job anticipating the throw. And I mean, he beats Malga, to the ball carrying. Had that been a catch, he's not going anywhere. And we're getting at least a 4th and short. It's a similar thing. Pretty good at closing, like I said. Gets in and out of his transitions pretty well. You can tell he's just a high-level athlete more than anything.
What school did he come from? North Carolina?
North Carolina. Went to Florida State for his first 4 years and then transferred to North Carolina. That's the other thing, too. So to go into his college career, like at Florida State, he started as like an edge rusher, then played some off-ball linebacker, and then North Carolina put him back on the edge. So he's still somewhat new to the position. Obviously has somewhat of a background in it. But yeah, again, for a guy that's had been an edge rusher this past year at North Carolina, like you can see some impressive movement skills. Now this one, or expressive knowledge of the position and being able to do it. Now this one, I would like to see him do a better job of breaking down or at least staying on his feet. Probably a better angle here too. Probably gets a little shallow. If he stays wider, probably about where my cursor is, like splitting the numbers in the hash instead of cheating towards the hash, has a better opportunity to make a tackle. But hey, it is 3rd and forever. At the very least, we're pursuing to the football and slowing that guy up so Malga can finish it off and force the punt. So not the cleanest rep on this one, but again, you can see the ability to close, does it from distance, and is able to converge on the ball carrier. The other thing I like about this rep too is he recognizes the situation where, like, hey, it's 3rd and long, and you guys have heard me talk about this a lot. When we're playing zone defense in the NFL, we play it back to front. We don't want to get beat deep here, so we'll give up this little check down pass that Trey Lance wants to take, as long as we can rally and tackle. Again, got to get the tackling part down there, but at the very least, trips up the running back and makes it harder for them to pick up the first. See a little bit of a combo here, those ball skills, and again, that conversion skills. Now, I'll back up here in a second, as I was just hyping him up for it. I will say on this one, I would like to see him play a little bit deeper, because this is, I think, 2nd and forever. There was a penalty on the play before this, so it's like 2nd and 20-ish. So I would like to see him help on this dig route, because if Trey Lance throws that with in this window with any sort of anticipation, that's probably going to be completion, maybe a first down if Chris Smith doesn't make that tackle. But Trey Lance in year 4 still doesn't see the full field and doesn't throw it and decides to bootleg anyway. And again, see the ability to converge on the ball carrier or the ball and meet the running back at the catch point, and ends up getting a PBU on this one. Let's see him get his hands involved. Right here. Nice job popping the ball out. Now it's 3rd and forever. So a little bit of room for improvement here on this one. Would like to see him play a little bit deeper and then help take away this dig. But again, love the ability to close and then converge on the ball carrier. And the other thing I liked about this too, I meant to point this out from the other view, but like you can see him, like, see how he kind of stays patient. Like he wants to drive on it here, but then he's like, I'm just going to stay where I'm at and kind of bait Trey Lance into throwing this. And then once the ball's out, now I kind of converge. Like that's what I like too. That's another thing of like showing a little bit of knowledge of the position. Like, hey, I can go hug this guy up right now, but then Trey Lance might find this dig. Instead, I'm going to give him a little room, make him think it's open, and then close on it. And again, use my hands, make a nice play on the ball to get a PBU and prevent the completion. Now it's 3rd and forever. This is going to be the last play, and this is the one I was talking about at the beginning. This is really damn impressive because part of it is the Vikings have a perfect play call. Like you're going to see them. They're running this 4 verts concept. Just the outside receivers are going to run comebacks with the corners bailing like this. So it's 4 verts versus cover 3, which is tough to cover because obviously we have 4 deep routes and only 3 guys to cover it. So this time, I think that's that Jaron Hall. Jaron Hall actually makes a smart decision that I'm going to hit the tight end on the seam route because I got a linebacker sitting here and I got the safety cheating towards a three receiver side. So he tries to rip it to the seam. However, with Gainer working for depth and making one hell of an athletic play, he ends up getting a PBU. Like we'll see it from the end zone view a little bit better. But yeah, he brought his Air Jordans for this one. See it here on this rep. Let's see.
Wow.
But he got up. Ends up preventing PBU. Again, against a play that was schemed up pretty well and a great play call by the Vikings and Kevin O'Connell. The Raiders were kind of screwed in this coverage, but an athletic play will beat any sort of scheme, or a great play will beat any scheme. And that's what we get right there. I mean, I can't find many linebackers on the Raiders that are going to be able to do that. Haven't seen anyone do that in a while. I don't know if you can find many around the league that can do that. That was pretty impressive.
For real.
Moving on to Woo Governor, I'm going to start with a couple of reps that show his biggest area of weakness, in my opinion, or at least what we've seen in these first 2 games, which is defending against slants. Like you guys are going to see, his change of direction and the ability to get in and out of his cuts isn't great. Like this one, he kind of gives it up pretty easily. I know they're playing, looks like maybe a pattern match. I think this is man, but we got some confusion down here at the bottom of the screen. Just ignore that for a second, though. But anyway, going back to Governor, one of the biggest things I think is this issue is like when he starts pedaling, like if you watch his butt, when he starts pedaling, he's going to start working backwards and come straight up. Like at this point, like we're on our heels. He's pretty, or not quite lock kneed, but I mean, pretty high. Like you can see this receiver, he's already taller than him, and he's not the tallest guy in the world. I think he's like 6 feet. So it's going to make it harder for him to sink and cut. And as you can see, like when this receiver snaps it off for the slant, like he's way out of position. Again, we'll see this again here on another clip in man coverage, where it's the same kind of thing. Like he just starts to pedal. And again, I mean, pretty much up and down vertical. A little bit better job of staying on our toes, but even so, when the guy goes to cut, just can't quite transition with him. We'll let that play full speed. But like you can see, like just not his game right now to be able to take away slants. The other thing is too, like especially in a look like this where he's in press coverage and it's man coverage because it's 3rd and 3, looks like he's a physical dude. I'd love to see him just jam this guy and get in this receiver's grill rather than kind of try and play soft shoe and end up in giving this receiver cushion. Like I'd like to see him play to his strengths a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe they don't give him that freedom just yet, but with the way he plays and his physical style, I think he can be a good guy in press coverage. And when he's not, especially because he doesn't have a great change of direction and hips are too high and whatnot, he's going to have a tough time defending slants. Biggest flaw in his game right now. But moving on to more of the positive, going to see a lot of similarities between him and Gainer. Really good guy at rallying and tackling. Also shows a good football IQ, like we're going to see on this rep. Raiders are going to run cover 3. What I like about this is he's getting out to the curl of flat. Like you can see his eyes, like he's like at first checks the outside, sees where this guy's going, sees the outside release, gets his eyes back to the quarterback, and in a position where you can see this outside slot receiver. And once he sees that slot receiver start to work for the out, now he opens his hips and he's able to take away this short out from the quarterback. What I also love about it is if you notice this, and I'll play it through, like he never stops working for depth. So right about here, like he's in a position where he's already taken away this short out, but say this quarterback wants to rip it to this deep route on this concept over here, he'd be in a spot where at the very least, I don't know if they'll necessarily get the PBU here, but he's going to make this quarterback make like a perfect layered throw where he has to throw it between him. So he's able to take away his man and at the same time helping out his teammate. I think that's Richardson out there on the boundary corner to help take away 2 guys. And like what you can see is like if you watch the quarterback, I think it's Jaron Hall again. Like he wants to throw to this side of the concept, but with Governor again playing to both and helping against both, he just ends up checking it down. And then this is the play we were watching earlier with Gainer. So not one that's going to show up on the stat sheet for Governor, but it was a play that was pretty impressive to me where he's showing some football IQ and staying deep in his zone to be able to help out his teammates here and forcing the quarterback down to the check down. Now this one, again, see the same thing in cover 3 here. Raiders running basically cover 3 all game this game. Another nice route, another nice design by the Vikings. Sits in the cushion. We're going to get a missed tackle from Malga here. But then Governor ends up saving the day. I think this is 2nd and long, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, second.
And ends up getting the tackle here to at least give us a fighting chance, at least give us a chance to either get off the field or force the field goal. He's a pretty good open field tackler for the most part. I don't think he has any misses on the year yet in the preseason, so another strength of his game. Last clip we're going to see here, this is where I was really impressed with his just football IQ and situational awareness. I'll back up a little bit here. So this is going to be right before the half, right? 28 seconds. Cowboys are on their own 15-yard line. So what I like about this play is he recognizes like what the situation is and knows that they can't get beat deep. And even though in this cover 3 look, he's responsible for the curl to flat, he's going to carry with this outside receiver to help Jack Jones. And what does that do? That forces Trey Lance, or gets Trey Lance to throw the check down. And then from there, just converges on the tight end and ends up making the tackle to limit this to a 7-yard gain. situation with 30 seconds on the clock and right before halftime, we'll take that. We'll take a 7-yard gain with less time because now the offense just has what is it? Correct me on my math, 78 yards to go score a touchdown right before halftime, or get like 20 yards more and then kick a NFL record field goal. But either way,
yeah.
So again, not anything where I'm like, he's not changing the game. Gainer's still the highlight of those two guys, but some impressive reps from a guy that's an undrafted rookie who's showing some football IQ, showing some situational awareness, and can be effective in zone coverage, especially in that nickel corner role that behind Nate Hobbs.
You know what was interesting about the last clip you showed, that he was on the field with Jack Jones and Trevon Moehrig and Marcus Epps and Divine Diablo. That's very interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's like I'm saying right now. I think he might be their backup nickel because he's the next one off the bench for sure. So
that was very interesting to see. I was like, wow. I'm gonna go check that out. So okay, so Amari Gainer looked really good though. Man, he looked like he might be a little bit of a steal. And then if they can get creative with him, especially if he can rush the passer, I don't know how good of a pass rusher he is, but if you can get creative with him, I think that's somebody you could turn into something. You know what I mean? That could play linebacker and then get after the passers, blitz them on certain packages. And so I mean, just his ability to kind of know zone coverages is super interesting since he's never really played linebacker like that at a long period of time, let's say.
Yeah, like he's bounced back and forth between the two spots. I don't know much about him. I didn't watch him at North Carolina or in college or anything. I know his pass rush numbers weren't great in college. I think that was part of the reason why he didn't get drafted. Is again playing two different positions, didn't really necessarily get to master one, and then on top of it, didn't have great production on the edge. So ends up getting undrafted, and they haven't used him at the edge at all, or I don't even think they've blitzed him yet, or at least not on a passing play or anything like that. So I get the feeling that they kind of view him as purely an off-ball linebacker. But like you mentioned, if he has the pass rush skills and he has that in the background, that's a good tool to have in your back pocket if you do need it down the line. So definitely a guy that you can use in multiple ways. And again, play special teams, baby. So I think he's got a spot on the team if he keeps this up. If he has another good game on Friday night, I think he'll earn himself a spot on the 53 man for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Laube Governor's a big surprise, man. Just seeing him out there, like, wow, he's really out there with Jack Jones. That was very interesting. That was
FCS guy too, Northern Iowa. Shout out.
All right, yeah, it's Kurt Warner, bro. Kurt Warner right there.
Yeah, no, Kurt. All right. Well, Kurt Ellerson Smith, another Northern Iowa guy, had a good game on Saturday. Didn't show him obviously, but tell you what, played Tyree Wilson. So,
all right. After that, let's get some positivity. Get some Trey Tucker and Dylan Laube here. Even though this ends very negative if you're a Aiden O'Connell fan. But all right. So we start off with all right, got it up here. Cool. All right, so we're gonna start off with this first play. This was basically what we call the Yankee concept. I mean, this is play action Yankee here. We're watching Trey Tucker down here. We're gonna zoom in on this route right here. So this is one of my favorite routes and kind of shows his development as just a route runner itself. So he doesn't get the ball on this play. But you see it kind of how he sets up this post. He gets this corner to flip his hips, right? And get him to commit. And then he goes right past him inside. And he is just gone. Now he doesn't get this football. It goes here to Myers, which Minshew makes up for it on the next play. They probably saw this on film on the sideline or something. I don't know. But did not go to Tucker there on that one. But he could have. But you just kind of shows how Tucker, especially when you're in off coverage, and you have to deal with him running a post route like this, it's not going to be the greatest thing. Number 31 was in trouble. Let's say that. That was definitely a touchdown type of play. So here he is against 25. Right there's basically a man-to-man again. And he just runs past this guy this time. There's really nothing sexy about this. And he's just going to run past him. But Minshew does a good job of getting the safety to commit to Myers again this time. That's why I said maybe they saw this on the sideline, and then you just get him come right over the top there. Does a good job tracking this football. because I don't know if it was underthrown, but it just felt like it just kind of died in the air a little bit because I mean 25 is burnt here,
Yeah.
and and maybe because he had to adjust to it a little bit, but you can see how good the adjustment was there. Let's go back a little bit, watch it one more time. But like, because you get like right here, maybe if he throws it more up here in front of him, and like he's gone. But he does a good job adjusting to it in the air. It gave it 25 a little bit of a chance to come back and get it. Because I remember I watched this on broadcast. I thought he knocked it down. I was like, oh my God. I was so mad. But he caught it. Yeah, good catch. Good catch. All right. So here he is again against the Vikings. So, we talked about him against press coverage um, during the offseason, and it's still there. So you see him, a great job setting up this release, stems inside, gets the arm over, right, and then just gets full speed ahead. He is past this guy. Now, this happens again I'm going to show this later on, where I think he's supposed to come out here, and so Minshew throws it over there, but he does a good job of adjusting and finding the football in the air. This is definitely why he needs LASIX and catching that football. So we'll go back. See that release,
Ooh.
right? Stacks him. I mean, it's over here. He does a good job of finding this football and making a diving catch right there. So yeah, so he's got some. He looks a lot better. I'm gonna just say that he looks a whole lot better. He does. You can see a lot of growth. He looks like a really high level deep threat at this point. Just because of his advanced route running, and you can't press him. If you press him, it's not gonna be fun for you. And just how Trey Tucker really is at this point. So here he is running another deep route on this one. He doesn't get the ball here, but you see now he's not even going against press coverage. But this guy's flat-footed, right? This corner gets flat-footed. I guess respecting a quick pass here or something. Looks like they're playing cover 3 here, and he just runs past this guy. And he's just hand up and everything, but Minshew runs out of the pocket. And, maybe he's not part of the progression here. I think Minshew wanted to work Wilkerson on this side. You can watch it maybe. But you see he's down here with his hand up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not going to, because I don't think Minshew's even looking that way, because you kind of see he's looking at Wilkerson here. But it's just, maybe you want, Minshew to stay in that pocket and kind of just go through the reads and get there. But if he's not looking, he's not going to see it. So I'm not going to get too crazy with it. But so here's another one here with Trey Tucker here, right here again. Now this is kind of just showing more of his versatility. This could be like a sail route. So with sail, you see I have a go here, and then you have him basically kind of run like it's basically a corner route, but it's like more of like I tried to describe this before, but it's basically kind of like a rounded off out, basically kind of like at an angle. It's called a sail route. You see it with the inside release there, gives it full speed, and he doesn't lose any movement here too, and any steps, and he flattens it out pretty well. So he's supposed to get the ball out here. I said Minshew wins his job because this is Minshew's first pass, and if he throws it out here, it's a touchdown. Because there's just him and Wilkerson, and I feel like Tucker's pretty damn fast. But he throws it inside. I don't know if he was trying to get it away from this guy. Maybe I'm just making excuses for him. I'm not sure, but he does a good job. Tucker does a good job of adjusting to this football and making a catch, and he almost got beat down there. Watch it one more time. Right, ball's in the air. He does a good job of finding it. Makes a good catch there. All right, so here he is on another route here too, where he's just Tucker's right here, up here. He's doing basically a quick out, and this is you can just tell how much a better route runner he is, because we talked about last year him kind of rounding off routes, especially on the interception against the Dolphins, and this one's just more of a straight out there.
There you go.
Right, makes it easier completion. Not the greatest ball in the world, but does a good job of going down and catching the football. So it was saying showing better hands. Hands was a problem in camp for him. But you're not seeing that in the games, and just a good job of going down and getting that football, rolling over. You see a little bit better from this angle here. See him getting down, getting low, getting that football, making a good catch there. So yeah, there's a lot of great growth from Tucker. It's just he's not gonna be getting these targets like he is in preseason, but it's good to get him work. I wonder if he's gonna play this week, but it is good to get him a lot of work here. So here he is with O'Connell, I mean, a little bit of problem with Tucker is that when a guy kind of doesn't try to get his hands on him, he tries to stay with him, and I guess 25 here is a pretty fast guy, or just trust his speed. Sometimes just because of his size, he's not able to, like I said, fight for the football here. So I think on this one, he kind of gets stuck behind the guy trying to look back instead of just going full speed. The guy is able to slow him down a little bit and not allow him to get to this football. So you kind of see it here. The guy's able to get in front of him. He's not able to fight through it. And slows him down a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. And you kind of can even see his release. Maybe he's expecting the guy to try to get hands on him, but there's a little bit of a false step there. He's not able to get to it. So, and you see it on this one, and this I was talking about on that previous play with the Vikings that maybe Minshew's trying to throw it outside here. And you see it one more time here. Once again, another good release inside. And it is interesting he keeps releasing inside. I don't know if he's supposed to do that. But you see here, and he does stack this guy again, right? Kind of the same look that you saw against the Vikings. But this time when he looks for the ball's kind of drops right where he should be.
Yeah.
I feel like that maybe if he releases outside, that this is a completion. But he releases inside, and Minshew is trying to get him to come back outside. And when time he looks for the football, it's not there.
What's weird too, if you back it up before he breaks, like he starts like looking over his outside his outside shoulder, and then for whatever reason he adjusts to his inside shoulder right there. I feel like he just I don't know, like he was on the right path, and then for whatever reason he changed when the ball was in the air. I don't know.
Yeah, it was weird, but it's basically kind of what happened on the Vikings play the ball just had more air under it, and he was able to find it.
Yeah, but in the Vikings play though, he like looked over his inside shoulder and then his outside shoulder, and then like this one he does the opposite. I don't know, just maybe not on the same page. Maybe there's like a adjustment based on the coverage.
No, I'm not 100% sure on that. All right, so let's get into some Dylan Laube here. So I thought Dylan Laube had a couple of good runs here in this game. This one's my favorite one. So yeah, we're getting some duo here, right? And yeah, a free guy, but nope, he just makes a mess. And he's able to get up in the hole, get about 4 yards there. So this is what you like about Dylan Laube. This is what he can do in open field, which it makes him a little bit of a check down guy, getting him the ball out in space. But this is a free runner. He's supposed to get tackled here. He just does a little jab step. Nope, goes right by the guy. Get some yards there. See a full speed from the other angle. It's a good job. 45 did a good job timing it, but it's like, nope. Yeah, not doing that. Not today. But this is what you get from Dylan Laube, though. Where I think he could be like that third down guy. I think Amir Abdullah's gonna make this team, but where he could be like the third down guy, you kind of just give him the ball, like on a 3rd and 3 or something like that. And he can make a play for you. So here's another run. You get the tight end at fullback. So this one looks a little bit more of a counter, like a kind of a full, straight up lead, push power lead here. And I think he does a good job of being patient here. You see, where the hole is and just ends up creating a hole. He's supposed to go through here. He does a good job of being patient here, sliding, and then getting to that side, and then getting 5.
Would like to see him stay wide of the defensive tackle instead of trying to run through his chest, but
yeah, exactly. That is very true. But you see here, I mean, it is good vision here, right? To be patient and then hit this hole. But you're right. He probably should have just kept running wide. I don't know.
Like, buddy, you were 205 pounds, 215 pounds. Like, do not take on the 315-pound defensive tackle straight on.
You know what I mean? I feel it, but you can see like the ability though, and the potential he has to be like more of an Austin Eckler, right? Like Eckler used to be able to make these type of runs, and it is there for him to be able to, like, if there's some injuries that maybe you feel comfortable giving him some carries.
Yeah. Cutting backside on power though, it's going to frustrate every O-line coach. But hey, if the gap's there, take it.
Yeah, but the random fan on Twitter that's not going to circle it. You know what I mean? It's like he avoided the circle. Yeah, because you're right. He's supposed to just go straight forward here, but
But Munford missed the block too, and he ended up picking the optimal path.
You know what I'm saying? All right. So here's another one here, kind of the same exact run concept here. All right, see it right there. And this one, he doesn't follow the tight end with like he should. So that's why I see it's a little up and down with him in the run game sometimes, because I feel like this time he kind of got stuck trying to set nobody up. Like there's nobody to set up. And I feel like maybe he's trying to set up this guy, the defensive tackle here. But I mean, this isn't really like much of a zone run. You just got to follow 86. You know what I mean? I feel like if he just follows 86 through that hole, he actually might be able to get some yards. Now, Meredith and Munford are double teaming this guy, and then Meredith decides he just wants to go to the linebacker. I don't know if these guys are confused, but Meredith just let him go, make the tackle.
Yeah, it's O-line not having enough reps together.
Yeah, kind of just looks like a go. I mean,
they both leave.
Yeah, both leave 95 to make the tackle. Preseason football right here, guys.
Yeah. I think back it up a little bit, back it up to the ideally Meredith stays attached to 61, Munford picks up the edge, and then the fullback takes that 45 or whatever, that linebacker.
Yeah.
But yeah. Preseason football.
Because even then, right? Even then, now 86 has to block this linebacker here instead at 52, and then that's preseason football there. So here's a 4th and 6 play. Dylan Laube's right here, and he's gonna be running a choice route, which I really like. I like this H choice look. Of course, the dig goes to Brian, so overthrow here. I think ended Minshew's day here. But you see here, Minshew probably should. I mean, it's hard for me to say that because it's pretty good anticipation by Minshew throwing this dig route. It's open right there, but you're going to see Dylan Laube just like he might walk in, right? If he's just on time, hits that. He's got a linebacker. That linebacker's not at a good angle either. It's still a bad throw. I mean, he still should hit Harrison Bryant here. But you kind of just see what he can do in the passing game here. Just boom, good quick cut, hit the running back on time right there. I mean, it's clear, even if it's a choice route, it's pretty clear he's going to do out route because of the leverage of the linebacker. Boom, hit him. That's a nice play. But, that's not a bad decision. I'm not going to get on Minshew about that. You just got to make a better throw.
Yeah, I mean, threw it to the sticks, so
yeah,
Laube was short of it.
All right, and now we're gonna show the end of Aiden O'Connell here. Now, I just showed this play because I mean it's more about like what you could do with Dylan Laube in space. Because in my opinion, you just throw the ball here, right, and then you get him in space, and then maybe you're the starting quarterback for the Raiders, right? I mean, it's all he had to do. I mean, it's literally all he had to throw. Just throw Dylan Laube with one with the linebacker. And it's all good. And I think he wanted Keaton here, and I think Keaton kind of comes to this break a little too slow. Like, I don't know what he's doing here. It's just kind of not a great route. So he's like, I'm not gonna go there. But then he's just like makes a terrible decision. He just should have threw it to Laube. I just would have threw it to Laube and allowed it to happen. But that's what I'm saying. You can get Laube out in space and kind of get him these one-on-ones. You can get some big plays. So, the quarterbacks weren't really looking at him that much, but he's there as a receiver, and then there's the end of Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah. I will say Bryant doesn't exactly help him out much by just sitting there and not working back to the quarterback at all. But yeah, you're right. That ball goes to the Laube. That might be 6. That's like the dream if you're a quarterback. You get the stat sheet patter.
Yeah, stat sheet patter, bro. You know what I mean? Ugh.
Oh God.
It reminded me of his throw like versus Wisconsin. Like it was like my first time watching Aiden O'Connell on film. That exact throw. That was my first time watching Aiden O'Connell on film. I was like, no way this guy gets drafted. This is like the exact play. But yeah. Anyways, enough of that. So yeah, that was Trey Tucker and Dylan Laube. Now, Tucker, like I said, he's a legit deep threat. I mean, that dude, he's going to have some deep passes this year, especially I think Minshew does a pretty good job of getting him the football and knowing where to throw it with him. So he's going to get some looks. I don't know if he's going to get the same exact looks with Devontae Adams out there, but he's going to get some looks on some of those deep routes. And teams have to learn to respect it. And, it might open up things for guys underneath. So that might be a good thing for him. And he's shown a lot of growth as a route runner, shown a lot of growth tracking the football, catching the football. Definitely a little bit of a body catcher at this point, but, let's just nitpick a little bit. But I still think he has a lot of growth that he could show. He can get a lot better. And then, like I said, Dylan Laube had to show a little bit that he does have the potential to become like a running back there. But, there's just a little bit of vision issues, understanding where to go, being more of a natural runner is something that he's missing a little bit. But the receiving skills are there. They're there. So there's really no reason for him not to be able to kind of be put in that position. I feel like he does a good job on those choice routes. He had a really good angle route too on the third down catch by DJ Turner from Aiden O'Connell. He was wide open on there. That I'd rather Aiden go there, but Aiden just pre-snap he decided he was throwing to DJ Turner. But Dylan Laube had a great route there too. So yeah, I think Laube has a way to get on the field early, but I don't know how early because obviously they still like Amir Abdullah. Amir Abdullah's out there, so it would be pretty shocking if he gets cut. But we'll see. We'll see this week.
Yeah, I will say with Laube, like he did seem like he was a lot more patient on those inside runs than what I remember from him at New Hampshire. Because when I was watching him on film, I don't remember if I broke him down here or not, but like it was everything. It was just as soon as he got the ball, he was bouncing it outside, like almost every single time. And like he does seem like a few of those inside runs that you were playing, you were showing, like he does seems like he's worked on his patience a little bit and helping set up blocks. He had the one where he didn't even need to set up the block, and at least it was still doing it a little bit. So he does seem like he's understanding like that in this league. You're just going to have to be able to run through the tackles a little, or run between the tackles a little bit more, which is good growth. I mean, as far as Trey Tucker, man, like it just seems like the guy gets better every week almost. Like he's balling out lately, and I mean, despite some unstable quarterback play, he was a stud last Saturday. So
yeah, he's having a great preseason, man. He's really showing a lot.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that was our show for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Like I said, I do have Gardner Minshew breakdown up as well. If you remember, go ahead and check that out. I got every throw from Minshew last week, so go ahead and check that out. And then we'll be back Friday for instant reaction because the game's on Friday this week. So it'll be a late night instant reaction on Friday. So be on the check out for that, and then we'll get our last film, and then we'll be getting ready for the Chargers. I'm gonna have to go bust out some 20. When's the last time Greg Roman was a coordinator? Maybe have to go watch some old Ravens film, bro. We have to
some Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins tape. Cut that out.
I mean, they're the running backs, aren't they? It's like the same team. They brought the Ravens over.
Yeah,
Ravens run game, man, from 2022, man, is coming over. So we're gonna check that out. I don't know if we're going to see any QB counters now. I think I was scared. I thought there was going to be a QB counter and watching. I just had a dream that Justin Herbert was just running 50 yards down the field and the QB counter the Rays weren't expecting. We're not going to have that at least. So, but we'll get ready for the Chargers after this. Check out the Cowboys, not the Cowboys, the Niners that they're playing this week. And preseason's over again. The season's almost here. We're almost here, guys. So hit the subscribe button, subscribe. We are out of here, guys. Peace out. Peace.
Peace.